Good evening and welcome to this channel about past lives and reincarnation. So I want to talk about the awakening. I wanted to talk about this for some time and I wrote some of it down just to make sure that I didn't forget anything. So what is it? The awakening. What is it really? I know what it is, you see. Now you don't have to believe me, but I know what it is. It's basically this. It's people breaking away from oppression. That's what it is, fundamentally. You know. And this is a long story. This started a long time ago. The oppression of spirits. See? Free spirits are very hard to control. And there were some individuals who said, you know, we can't have these free spirits roaming around the universe. We don't like it. We want to control them, you know. So that's the mission. So that's what they started to do long time ago. Long before this happened, what we see now, these new inventions that we see now, like Marxism, for instance. It's a recent thing. We're talking about a long time ago. They started it. Right. So that's what they did. You know? They said, we can make these free spirits smaller and then we can control them. And we have to convince these big free spirits that they are not significant, that they are really small. If they can be convinced of this, then we're all set and we can control them, see? If we can make them believe, for instance, that they are bodies, that's perfect. So if the spirit believes that he is the body, that's great. Because then we can threaten him, we can hurt the body, we can kill the body. You know? Perfect control, right? And that's what happened. They actually did it. And it's all about convincing you that you are insignificant. You're basically a maggot. You know, useless, more or less. You see? You're part of a collective. One detail here is responsibility. We can convince the spirit that he's not responsible for his actions. You know, in the past, that would be unthinkable. You tried to explain this to his spirit a long time ago. He said, you know, you're not really responsible for your actions. He would just laugh at you. It's a ridiculous idea. But they went for it. And now it seems that people love this idea. A lot of people love it. Oh, I'm not responsible for my actions. That's great. Oh, I can do whatever I want. No. And others are responsible for what I do. I don't have to think. No. The authorities will just tell me what I should do and I will do it. It's great. And if something bad happens, it's not my fault. No? Right. And you know, the big religions, they played a very important part in this. Now, when I talk about the big religions, I'm talking about the religions that were approved by rulers. You know, that should give you a clue about these religions. If the rulers approved of them, or even fought for them, you know, promoted them. They punished people if they didn't believe in this religion, right? If the rulers did this, that should be a clue about what these religions are about. I think so. Yeah, they played a vital part in this agenda, these big religions. Just look at Christianity, for instance. I mean, what do they say? They say, well, we know God. the high priests, they said, we know God. We know what he wants. And we are about to tell you. He wants you to fear him. Oh, that's right. You should be afraid of this God. And at the very end, there's a terrible disaster. At the very end of life, of existence, there is a big disaster. And you will be punished. Well, you do have a chance. If you obey, if you believe, and if you fear your God enough, then maybe you have a chance. But most likely you will burn. Through eternity you will burn. Because you're bad, you're a sinner, you're a maggot, you're insignificant. And if you accomplish something, it's not really you. It's God. You should be grateful. If something good happens to you, you should be grateful to your God. People, they say the prayers, right, before dinner, right? And they thank God for the food. And there's the woman sitting there who made it, who made the food, right? And there's the father, possibly, who made it possible for them to eat. Maybe he was a farmer, and he worked his sweat to make this food and prepare this food. And there people sit and thank God for this. People are insignificant. Whatever they do, well, they should not boast about it or feel good about it. They should thank somebody else. Yeah, it's really weird, this thing. This has been going on. And I never saw this. What do you think? You think of a big spirit, right? And I never saw anything that would confirm anything like this. That you should fear this big spirit. It's a ridiculous idea. You should fear him. And this big spirit is demanding of you to love him. You should fear him and love him and believe in him. What is this? It's ridiculous. That's not how it works. A big spirit would never do this. He would never demand of you to love him. That sounds like some idiot politicians that I know of, Or somebody who demands that you fear him. That's a bully, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I just had to say this. The truth is very different about you. You are basically perfect in your native state. You are perfect. You were just led to believe that you're not. And that you are small and insignificant. And they say, you're part of this big collective. Whatever you say and think, well, it doesn't really matter. Well, if you think like the collective, that's good. You get a pat on the back, right? You do what you are told and what you're supposed to do. That's good. But if you want to be unique in any way, if you believe that you are something, maybe you are different, you think you're different, this will be punished. See? Yeah, there's so much stuff going on, it's unbelievable. And it's all about convincing you that you are nothing. So this is what's going on right now. People are starting to realize that they are unique individuals. What they think is important. What they say is important. and they will not let people step all over them. See? That's the awakening, if you ask me. Alright, be good.